Now let's talk about some of the tools that you're going to need to succeed with list building. There are a few different ones, but don't be intimidated. Just sign up for one at a time and you'll have it all done before you know it. The very first thing that you're absolutely going to need is a good, reliable autoresponder. Now there are a bunch of different kinds out there, from software that you put on your computer to online services. That said, I highly recommend that you stay away from most of the free services. Remember that nothing in life is truly free. Even when you may not pay a dime for them, you may be paying in terms of horrible reliability, time wasted, and who knows what else. As far as software, the problem is that you have to be pretty technical, and they aren't normally easy to understand. So instead, I recommend using a service. And I'm going to recommend two providers that I've personally used and that I personally endorse. The first one I'm going to recommend is Aweber, which you can access here at aweber.com. And this is one of the most popular autoresponder services amongst marketers because it's so easy to use. And you can test Aweber for the first month for just $1, so there's no reason not to give them a shot. Now Aweber is nice because besides being affordable and easy to use, they have a lot of options. They have different styles of opt-in boxes, they use different forms within the same list, you can conduct split testing, and a whole lot more. And these things will help you as your business grows because you'll want to constantly be testing new things to see what works. The other autoresponder service is Getresponse, which you can access at getresponse.com, or if you're in one of the other countries that they serve, for example, I'm in the UK, so it's redirecting me to getresponse.co.uk. And if I go down to the bottom of the page, you can see there are other variations as well. You can have it in US English, which will go to getresponse.com. You can have it in Polish or German or Turkish and a whole lot of others. Now the advantage that Getresponse has, and it's very similar to Aweber, they do a lot of the same things, but the advantage that Getresponse has, price-wise anyway, is that you can actually get started with them for free. Now granted, you're not able to do 100% of the things that you can do with the paid service, but you'll have enough tools to get started and you can see what it's like. They also claim to be the easiest email marketing tool. Now, even though that's up for debate, it's pretty simple to use, which may make it your #1 choice if you aren't the most tech-savvy person in the world. Both services are reliable, so whoever you choose to go with, it really just comes down to personal preference. Just keep in mind that once you've made your decision, then stick with them as long as you can. It is possible to switch providers, but it can be a hassle switching all of your subscribers from one service to another. Now, the next thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a good, reliable hosting provider. And once again, I don't recommend that you use a free hosting provider. You just never know what's going to happen with them. They usually bring in all of their revenue via advertising, which isn't exactly something you want to build your business around. And remember, this is a business. You don't need the highest quality tools out there, but you should be willing to invest in solid tools for it to work properly over the long term. There are a lot of good hosting providers out there, but there's only one that I can highly recommend right now. That's HostGator, which you can access here at HostGator.com. And I'm making this video in the winter time, hence all the snow here. They do tend to update this from time to time. Now they are fantastic. Even though they've recently changed management and I know that some people have switched, I'm perfectly happy with them. They have great uptime, which basically means that their servers almost never go down due to hackers, power outages and so on. Plus their customer service is great. And they're always friendly when they help me with a website issue. They've got a few different plans available, but I recommend going with their baby plan. You get unlimited domains, disk-based and bandwidth. It's also very affordable at about $8 a month, and you can see here at the time that I'm recording this video they've got a special offer running starting at only $3.96 a month. So you've got no excuses because that's less than a meal at a restaurant. The next thing you're going to need is a domain name. This is your address on the busy streets of the internet. Without one, how in the world are customers supposed to find you? Obviously, this can be just about anything you want, but it should be related to your niche and what you have to offer. Having a website called bobsfavouritestuff.com is a bit silly if your business is all about helping stay-at-home mothers with their vegetable gardens. So let's say you're in the gardening niche and you want to build a list that gives out tips and ideas about gardening to your subscribers. A domain you could go with is something like johnsgardeningtips.com. Anyone who sees it has a clear view of what the site is all about. It's about some guy called John who is sharing gardening tips. Easy. At the end of the day, it's completely up to you, but just make sure the domain name is related to your niche and to your offer. If it's short and easy to remember, you'll get some bonus points, but these aren't entirely necessary. Just look at the success of Ramit Sethi from I Will Teach You to Be Rich. He has a long domain name, but he's still had a lot of success over the years. Oh, and just one more thing. Try to use a .com if you can. You can use something else like .biz, .net, .org or whatever if you want, but 99% of people think of the .com extension, so I always recommend getting one if you can. Now there are a few different places you can purchase a domain name from. In fact, you could even buy one from your hosting company like HostGator. That said, the two that I recommend are GoDaddy. If you type in godaddy.com, you'll get redirected to this page, and Namecheap, which is here at namecheap.com. And they're really the only two places that I recommend you buy a domain name because they have very good prices and they're reliable. To save a few bucks, you can search for coupons on Google for these two services, so I'm able to get most of my domains for less than $5, and I never have to pay full price. The next thing that you're going to need to build your list is a squeeze page. And this is the page where you're going to send your visitors so that they can sign up to your list. You can make your own if you know HTML, or you can make it easy on yourself and use a tool. The most common tools are WordPress themes and plugins or HTML templates. The easiest option is to get something for WordPress, since this allows you to not just build squeeze pages, but also build out a full website as well. A great option to do this with is LeadPages, and if you type in leadpages.net, you'll be redirected to this site. And this service allows you to create any kind of page that you want. Squeeze pages, sales pages, download pages, it's all there. But the really cool thing is that LeadPages is continually adding new tools and statistics to their service. They want to make sure their clients are happy, so they share which of their squeeze page templates are having the most success among all of their many clients. Now, granted, this service isn't cheap, but as we've discussed earlier, it's always a good idea to invest in high-quality tools and services with your business. Another option you have for building squeeze pages within WordPress is OptimizePress, which you can access here at OptimizePress.com. And it's similar to LeadPages in that it allows you to build membership sites, squeeze pages, sales pages, everything. And it's all done within the WordPress platform, so it's very easy to manage. It's a great tool, and since you can keep using it for product after product, it will save you a ton of time and frustration over the long run. Like LeadPages, it's definitely worth the investment. You have to consider which one looks more appealing to you. Keep in mind that both of these new style squeeze pages convert very well. I've had conversions of well over 50% on these types of squeeze page compared with something like 30% on regular squeeze pages that you often see marketers using. Just a note to clarify things here. When I talk about conversions, I'm talking about how many people who visit your site also sign up to your email list. So if a squeeze page has a 30% conversion rate, that means that 30 people out of every 100 who visit your squeeze page will sign up for your email list. So this is also worth the investment if you want to use some of those high converting, fresh looking squeeze pages for your offers. The better your conversion rate, the faster your list will grow. Okay, one more time. Here are the main tools you'll need. And once you have invested in these things, you're ready to rock and roll. You're going to need an autoresponder, a hosting service, domain name, and squeeze page. From here, it's time to move on to setting up your sales funnel, starting with your free offer, which is what we'll cover next.